Our special hour of scams continues, and we're arming you with the knowledge and tools you need to fight fraud and win. Tax scams are on the rise, and the IRS has identified over 1,500 different types of fraud. When we think of getting in any kind of tax trouble, we get scared. We think about jail, because that's where you go if you get in real trouble. That's why we're talking tonight about the 3 most common types of tax fraud, real fraud, and how to avoid it. On the money line right now, Tracy Coenen, our resident tax expert. Tracy, you know, we've seen these ads everywhere. They seem to have been creeping up, especially lately. Companies promising to settle your debts, not your credit card debt, your debts with the IRS. But these guys are not interested in helping you.
You're right, Carmen. They are preying on the fears that consumers have surrounding the IRS. You know, the IRS does offer an opportunity for taxpayers to settle their tax debts, but these companies are in it just to take your money. The IRS has a process called an offer in compromise. They ask for a lot of information, and then they determine what you can really pay to settle your debt. Right. And usually only the people who are in the most dire of economic circumstances will have their offers accepted. These tax settlement companies come in and really aren't bringing anything to the table. They make it sound easy to settle for pennies on the dollar, and that's not the case. So unless you fit into that little box that the IRS has set up for the offer and compromise plan, you're not going to be successful. So don't waste your money on the tax settlement company.
Yeah, Tracy, you say that only maybe a quarter of folks who file for that, even on their own, get any relief or any settlement.
Yes, less than 25% of people actually will get one of those deals where they will pay less than they actually owe. And so people aren't likely to get a settlement. Now, that doesn't mean they shouldn't try, but they definitely shouldn't be paying these special companies to help them go through the process.
All right, so definitely stay away from them. Now, Tracy, there's something called, we've heard about phishing. There's IRS phishing. Give us the scoop on that.
Well, a taxpayer gets an email that says the IRS needs more information from you to either process a refund or to solve a problem we think you may owe taxes. It's usually a very urgent-sounding email, and you're asked to click on a link and provide personal information in order to help them, quote, identify you. What, in fact, you're doing is clicking on a link and going to a site set up by a criminal who wants to take your bank account number, get your Social Security number, probably get credit in your name. So we never want to respond to one of those emails. We never want to click on one of the links. If you have any reason to think that what you got might be legitimate, just call the IRS directly and they'll help you out.
Now, Tracy, just really quickly here, we only got a couple seconds here. There's types of fraud that your preparer, your tax preparer perpetrates. Tell us what those two are.
Tax preparers can commit fraud, and they can be on the hook for it by, trying to entice you to not report all of your income or to take deductions that you're not allowed to take, so you want to stay away from that. You also want to stay away from the tax preparers who are saying silly things like wages aren't really income and you don't have to report them. All these frivolous arguments.
We stay away from those guys, Tracy, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. For a recap of these common tax scam tactics, how to fight them, check out onthemoney.cnbc.com. Also, be sure to check out our web extra. While you're there, John Alzheimer is going to be joining us. We're talking about how to protect yourself from online scams. That wraps up our special hour of scams. You've now got all the information you need to fight money fraud, from your investments to your taxes to your credit cards. And don't forget, you can now download full episodes of the show on iTunes. But even if you do download, I want to see you tomorrow on The Money.